We're all chasing after success, right? But what if I told you the blueprint for getting there isn't some big, complicated secret? What if it's actually a set of foundational principles that have always worked for anyone in any field? Well, that's exactly what we're going to unpack. We're diving into the timeless pillars that support real, lasting success. So let's get into it. But hang on, before we go any further, I want you to just sit with this question for a moment. Seriously, what does that word success actually mean to you? Is it a title? A certain amount of money in the bank? Is it creative freedom? Or maybe it's the impact you have on your family and community? See, the definition is different for everyone, but the amazing thing is, the framework for achieving it, that's surprisingly universal. And this is where it all starts to click. The legendary speaker Jim Rohn just completely reframed the whole idea with this one simple sentence. And the two most important words in there? Practiced every day. This is such a game changer. It pulls our focus away from some lottery ticket moment or one single brilliant idea and puts it right where it belongs, on the small, consistent things we do, day in and day out. That's where the real power is. Okay, so if it's all about daily practice, where do we begin? We start with the first and honestly the most important pillar, your mindset. I want you to think of it like the foundation of a house. If that concrete slab is cracked or weak, it doesn't matter how beautiful the house is you try to build on top. Any habit, any goal, it's all just going to crumble eventually. Your beliefs literally create your reality. This whole idea was really brought to light by Stanford professor Carol Dweck. She identified these two core mindsets that we all operate from. Over on the left, you've got the fixed mindset. This is the belief that your intelligence, your talents, your abilities, they're just fixed, set in stone. You've either got it or you don't. But on the right, you have the growth mindset. And this is the belief that our abilities can be developed, through dedication, effort, and learning. And here's the key. Choosing which one to live by, well, that's a choice we get to make every single day. And if you want the absolute perfect picture of a growth mindset in action, look no further than Thomas Edison. Can you imagine, after thousands and thousands of experiments that didn't work to create a light bulb, he didn't see himself as a failure. Not at all. He saw progress. He saw learning. Every single one of those so-called mistakes was just a necessary step forward. That's the mindset. That's what it looks like. All right, so our foundation is poured. We've got that solid growth mindset. What's next? Well, now you need an engine. You need something to actually build on top of that foundation. And that brings us to our second pillar, your habits. You see, a great mindset without action is, well, it's really just a nice thought, isn't it? Habits are the engine. They're what turn your internal beliefs into real, tangible results out in the world. And this brings us to a really crucial point, one made famous by James Clear in his book, Atomic Habits. So many of us get obsessed with our goals, right? Lose the weight, write the book, get the promotion. And goals are great, don't get me wrong. They give us a direction, a dot on the map. But it's the systems, the daily habits you build, that actually power the car and get you to that destination. Let's just break down how that actually looks. It's so simple, but so profound. Step 1, you set your direction. That's the goal. But then, and this is the important part, you immediately shift all of your focus to step 2, building the system. That means creating a tiny daily habit that just moves you forward. You're not worried about the outcome anymore. You're just focused on the process. And over time, that system almost always leads you right to step 3, the success you were aiming for. And if you need proof that a strong system can overcome just about any obstacle, think about this. An aspiring author is rejected by not 1, not 2, but 12 different publishers. Her goal was clear, get published. But her system was even clearer, keep writing and keep submitting her work. Well, that author was J.K. Rowling, and the results of her just sticking to that system, over 500 million books sold. It's just incredible.
Okay, so you've got the right mindset and you've got your habits firing like a well-oiled engine. There's just one more critical piece to this puzzle, and that's the architecture of support you build around yourself. This is our third pillar, your environment. And your environment is both your internal world, your thoughts and feelings, and your external world, the people around you. And this is where it all comes together, because your environment can either supercharge your progress or it can completely sabotage it. Let's start with that internal environment. I think we can all agree, fear and self-doubt, they stop more dreams than anything else in the world. But Nelson Mandela just nails it with this quote. Courage isn't about not feeling fear. That's not human. Courage is about feeling that fear, acknowledging it, and taking action anyway. It's about managing that inner voice so that you can stick to your system one day at a time.
Okay, so we've talked about what's going on inside. Now, let's pivot to what's going on outside. There's this incredibly powerful idea about the people who shape our lives, our ambitions, and our everyday actions. And it really all boils down to a single critical number: 5. This represents your inner circle. And here he is again, Jim Rohn, with another absolute gem of wisdom. You are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. Just let that sink in for a minute. Think about it. The people you talk to every day, the people you text, the people you work with, are they lifting you up? Are they challenging you to be better? Or are they draining your energy? Choosing who gets to be in that circle is one of the most important things you can do. And finally, here's one simple, powerful tool to help you manage both your internal and your external worlds. It's gratitude. You've probably heard Oprah Winfrey talk about how keeping a daily gratitude journal completely transformed her life. And you might wonder, why? Well, it's because it forces a powerful shift in your perspective. When you consciously focus on what you have, on what you're thankful for, you reinforce that growth mindset, and you create this internal state that just naturally attracts more positive things and opportunities into your life. So let's recap. We've talked about the mindset that forms your foundation, the habits that act as your engine, and the environment that provides that crucial architecture of support. You see how they all connect and reinforce each other? These are the pillars. So now let's bring it all together and talk about the most important part, laying that very first brick. And here it is, your blueprint. Success isn't some mystical secret. It really is a commitment to these 6 interconnected areas. It's about choosing a growth mindset, practicing small daily disciplines, building systems that work for you, finding the courage to act despite fear, curating an inner circle that inspires you, and always maintaining a grateful perspective. This is the whole thing. This is the path. And that brings us right here to the final and most important question. Because this whole thing was never about just learning information, right? It's about doing something with it. So looking at that blueprint we just laid out, what is one small, simple discipline you can commit to starting today? Not tomorrow, not next week, today. Because that one small action, that's where every big success story truly begins.